Hello, welcome to my channel. If you haven't been here before, I'm Claire Francis, and on this channel we talk about all things shopping, style and fashion for the midlife woman. Today we're thinking of spring, and I've created for you a sort of capsule wardrobe. It is quite a large wardrobe, it's actually 30 items, but they will all mix and match together so that you can create lots of spring outfits. Most of them I had in my wardrobe already. Some of them I've sort of been saving for spring. Some of them I've brought out again from autumn winter. And I've created a fairly cohesive sort of wardrobe that we can get lots of wear and lots of use out of. There are a couple of new items in, which I'll show you as we go along. But I think if you follow the ideas I'm giving you, you can create for yourself a really good cohesive wardrobe for spring and feel confident every morning getting dressed that you've got plenty of things to wear. You can create plenty of different outfits and they will all go together and all look reasonably stylish. I actually looked in my existing wardrobe and I've taken out all the pieces I think would be relevant for spring and I've put them on the rail. Then I've had a little think about colours and things. Obviously some I've put back because they're not within this colour range and I don't want to confuse things too much at the moment. And because I have been buying quite a few new in things over the last sort of 6 months or so, been trying to upgrade my wardrobe, I have got quite a lot of these neutral things here already. But I strongly suggest that you actually do the same sort of thing. I mean, you may not have a rail. These are really, really useful, but you could create a space in your wardrobe or even in a spare room wardrobe or even on your bed or something. Just take out all the items you think may work for spring, see what you've got, see what they're like. Are they still good quality? Do they need washing or do they need to be sent to recycling because they're a little bit tired looking? Sometimes at the end of a season we put things away and we don't have time to worry about what they're like. So it's a good time to go through all your wardrobe, pick out 20 to 30 items that you think will go together. So let's start looking at categories of clothes and why I've chosen them to go on my spring rail. First of all, we're going to look at some coats. Now I've put away my longer wool coats and instead I've got out one of the most iconic items for spring, which is my trench coat. Now this is a long line trench coat from M&S. It does have a tie at the back there. I tend to do it up, do the belt at the back there and just to cinch it in a little bit. This was from Marks and Spencer's last year. They do similar ones this year, as I've mentioned before, but that's a really nice stylish item that will see you through all the spring weather, you know, whether it's a little bit nippy or whether you've got a bit of rain or whatever. Trench coat, absolutely ideal piece. I suggest you put that into your spring wardrobe. Now that's not to say that I don't still have those long line puffer jackets ready for action if necessary, because you never know what the weather's going to be like in the UK. So I have still got those heavier jackets, but I'm hoping I won't need them too much. What I have kept out though is this blazer, my Phase 8 tweed blazer. This is a wool blend blazer. It's just one button there. It's nice and warm, but it doesn't feel too heavy and too, you know, the longer wool coats seem to get a little bit much at this time of year, but I have been wearing this quite a lot recently. It just seems to be right. It's keeping me a little bit warm, but it's looking a little bit more spring-like because of the shorter length. So that would be a good idea. You could replace this with a short puffer style jacket if that's what would suit your lifestyle better, if you want more casual items. But I do like to wear this out and about, shopping and other errands and things like that. So highly recommend something like that. Then another very useful item for spring is a utility jacket. So this is my utility jacket from actually TKMaxx, the Michael Kors one. It has the gold detailing, the gold buttons and zips. You can pull it in at the waist there. Really been enjoying wearing this at the moment as well. Again, it's not very heavyweight, but I can still wear that with a warm jumper underneath if it is cold. And then it just looks that little bit lighter, little bit fresher. So by all means, keep your warmer layers underneath at the moment. But that's an ideal jacket to consider wearing for the spring as well. And one other item I'm putting in my capsule wardrobe is my burgundy faux leather blazer. Originally it's a Guess blazer from TKMaxx. I wore that a lot in the autumn. You may remember some of these outfits that I created with it. Now I've brought this out. If I had a suede jacket, then I'd put the suede jacket in this capsule wardrobe, but I don't have a suede jacket, so I'm using my leather one instead. And colour wise, it's going to go with some of the colours that I'm bringing into my spring wardrobe. So this is a staple that I'm going to keep in. As I said, for yourselves, it may be a suede item or a different jacket, maybe a different colour, but that's what I'm going to keep in my spring wardrobe at the moment. I've also put in my new cream blazer for when it does start to get a little bit warmer. I haven't actually worn this yet. This was from New Look a couple of weeks ago. Got it with a reduction. I think it cost me $29.99. And that is going to go in my spring wardrobe, but I'm not quite wearing that yet. So probably what I'll do, when it gets a bit too warm to wear the wool blazer, I'll replace it for this blazer. So I've just moved the rail to show you a little bit more clearly. Hopefully you can see that I've been thoughtful about colours. Now, ideally you need a lot of neutrals in your wardrobe, and then you need to pick just one or two accent colours. So I've actually got mostly creams and navies. You can probably see here, I'll show you more of these items in a minute. And then I've got a little bit of an accent colour with the sort of rose colour. I've got a little bit of pink, which will go with my burgundy blazer, and obviously some sort of blues that go with the navy and the denim. But that's the amount of colours that I'm going to have. I wouldn't add any more colours into this. So it's my creams and my navies and my base sort of layers. And then I've got a few lighter blues that go with the sort of denim colour and some sort of pinks. So that's my colour scheme. I wouldn't put in any more than that because it can get too complicated then to get things to mix and match. Now let's go on to the next category, which is shirts and blouses. First of all, I have this new in pink striped shirt from Phase 8. It's a nice cotton shirt, not too stiff, but reasonably firm. It does drape though quite nicely. Now this is a 14 and it's a little bit big for me, so I am going to go back and swap it for the 12 because I did see they did have a 12. It's in the sale at the moment, so it's a good price. And it's a lovely item. Now just have a look there, you can see you can either wear it loose out, it's got that sort of tails at the end there on the back, or you can wear it tucked in. Here I've got it tucked in with the waistcoat over the top, which I think looks quite nice as well. So beautiful thing for spring, something like that. I also have a blue stripe one, and this one here I've got it with my waistcoat as well. So this is a tailored waistcoat, which again is ideal at this time of year. And you saw me wear this last summer, autumn time. I wore the blue stripe one, that was from TKMaxx. So I've got a couple of stripes there. And as you know, stripes, particularly in spring, very iconic. That's always going to work. So hopefully that will go with lots and lots of the bottoms. Also, what's quite on trend at the moment is a white blouse. Now this is a new one from Phase 8. Well, new for me, it's actually in their sale. So again, it was a good price. I'll put the price on the screen for you. You can see it's quite sheer, which is again is an on-trend thing at the moment. You'd have to wear a little camisole underneath it, but really pretty blouse. Now I'll show you what it looks like on me. I'm not convinced if I'm going to keep this or not. It's not really my type of style. I do like it. I just feel maybe being bigger on top, a white blouse like that sort of adds a little bit of bulk. I'm not sure. I'm going to have a look back at the photos of me wearing it and see what I think. So have a look. It's a lovely blouse though, and if you're petite on top, a white blouse like that with a slight nod to the boho trend, which is coming in strongly for summer. So we've got a little bit of sort of frills here, and we've got the elasticated cuffs there and the sort of slight balloon sleeves, but it's a lovely blouse. Now let's look at the next category, which is jumpers. So I've got a couple of coloured jumpers here, one in the pink. This is my new crew clothing jumper, which if you remember I said I got at Clark's Outlet Village. Really lovely jumper, that one. And then I have this light blue one. If you watch my videos in the autumn, you may remember this one. This was from M&S, just unusual, sort of quite open, light knit. So they would be suitable for spring. And they sort of go with the colour themes as well. Also have a couple of jumpers in a sort of neutral colour. This is the M&S one with the gold buttons. I got this in the autumn again. Very useful as a layering piece for spring. So I've got a few jumpers there. I am also keeping one of my Heat Gen longer tops in with this because I think sometimes we still need a little bit of warmth, and this is quite a nice spring colour as well. It sort of blends in with the blues and the pinks. Then we're on to cardigans. So I'm quite good at buying cardigans, so I've got quite a lot of cardigans. So I've chosen a few here to show you. I've got this one here, which is a navy one with gold buttons. This is DKNY from TKMaxx. And then I've got a couple of neutral coloured ones. It's nice to have one that's a little bit smarter, you know, with gold buttons and things. This is more a little bit like some of those lady jackets. I find it very hard on me to get a lady jacket that I actually like the look of on my shape, being a bit bigger on top, but this is a sort of substitute for that. So if you're a little bit more petite on top, or you like those lady jackets, you could substitute this for one of those. But a nice neutral cardigan will go with everything again. This is another one from M&S that I got earlier in the late summer, I think I got it. It's a nice sort of open work detailing there, so it looks quite modern. V-neck, useful to have V-necks and round necks. A lot of my cardigans are V-necks because I have a sort of larger bust area. But a nice useful cardigan, reasonable weight as well, not too thin. So ideal for spring because it's got the light colouring, but it's got a little bit of warmth again. And then my trusty stripes again, stripe cardigan from Phase 8. This one I got in the sale in the autumn actually, and I put it away for spring knowing how useful it would be. So obviously that sort of navy and white stripes is going to go with lots of things in the springtime. Very iconic, you know, the sort of nautical trend always comes round in spring. Then obviously you need a few white t-shirts. Now I've got this one at the moment. I picked this up at Fat Face recently in their outlet. I'm going to get a couple more from M&S as well. They're an ideal piece when we get into the warmer weather, spring and summer, to have as a layering piece underneath a shirt or light jumper or whatever. Really useful. So I'm going to have a few of those. And if you have been enjoying the video, can I remind you please to press the like button, give me a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing. It really does help the channel. I really appreciate it. We bring you these videos obviously to try and be helpful and useful to you, and just pressing that subscribe button doesn't cost you anything, so I'd be really grateful if you would do that. Thank you. And let's have a look now at skirts and trousers. So the first item I have is my cream mid-axi skirt. This was from Marks and Spencer's last year. Lovely lightweight fabric, ideal for spring. Obviously would look lovely with navy, would look nice with the burgundy. You can see here I did create quite a few outfits with it last year. Really nice item, like the mid-axi length, like the A-line sort of flared style. It does actually give me some hips. If you're somebody that needs a little bit of shape creating, can also hide a lot of sins if you have more weight around the thighs and the bottom. A nice A-line skirt like that can hide that. So suits lots of different body shapes. So something like that would be useful. Maybe if you didn't want something that's cream, maybe something like the suede skirt I showed you the other week, something like that could go in your wardrobe. If your colours are a little bit more on the warmer side, then you might like something like that, a nice suedette skirt, or one of the suede ones I showed you from Marks and Spencer's as well. That's one item. And then I also brought out my denim mid-axi skirt. So I've got, well, it's more of a midi actually. It's one of these ones with the slit at the front, very hard wearing denim, lasted me all year last year, wore it quite a lot. It's actually got more comfortable now because I lost a little bit of weight around the waist. So it's fitting me really well. This was just a cheap one from Peacock's, but because it hasn't got a stretch, it hasn't really gone out of shape too much, and I can still wear that. Those skirts are still on trend as well. The wider skirts are maybe possibly a little bit more on trend, but I think there's no reason why we still can't wear these slimmer denim skirts as well. Then going on to trousers, I have one sort of smartish pair of trousers, which is the ones from M&S. These are the crepe elasticated waist trousers, but from the front they don't look too elasticated. The elasticated's at the back, and with the top over them they do look quite a smart trouser. They've got the crease down the front, wide leg, really nice trouser. I've looked at those. You remember I showed you the pink ones the other day? That could have gone into my wardrobe. In the end I decided not to keep the pink ones because I thought they were less versatile. So what I am looking for, one item that I think I haven't got that I could really use, is a sort of light ivory or beige sort of pair of fitted tailored trousers. That's what I'd really like to get, so I'm on the lookout for that. Then obviously I've got a few pairs of jeans. Now you may have seen recently, I bought a couple of new in pairs from M&S. One were the carrot jeans and the other one was the jeans that has, I don't know if you can see at the bottom there, they have the turn up. Yeah, you can just about see that. I'll show you a couple of pictures there of me wearing those jeans. So any sort of mid to lighter wash jean is obviously more recommended for spring. Looks a little bit better with the lighter creams and navies and things like that. So a couple of pairs of jeans obviously are an essential item. Again, depending on lifestyle. Now, one thing I haven't mentioned is that all this does depend on your lifestyle. For some people, they don't need the smart blazer or whatever, or they don't need the jeans. They're going to be wearing something completely different. You know, maybe they need to wear more tailored items all the time. Maybe you're somebody that doesn't like wearing anything that's too, you know, firm fabric. You like wearing something that's a little bit looser, a little bit lighter, a little bit more jersey, things like that. So, you know, depending on your lifestyle, this will change. This is the sort of guidelines for my lifestyle. And what I've tried to do is take my own advice. A few weeks ago, I was talking to you about, you know, buying clothes for your actual lifestyle, not maybe the lifestyle you used to have or the lifestyle you'd like to have. And I've realised that as I've got a bit older, I really do need more casual type clothes. A lot of the time I'm maybe doing my work from home, my videoing and things, or I'm out and about doing errands, or I'm walking down the beach or in the countryside. So I don't really need too many ultra tailored items. So I have tried to steer away from that and go more into the jeans and the denim and the loungewear and that sort of thing, which I'm going to show you in a minute. So after my jeans, two other items I really like to wear. You know my side stripe joggers from M&S. Well, these are the navy ones with the beige and sort of ivory stripe. These are really useful for spring, obviously, because of the colourways. It's going to go, as you can see, with all my tops here. All those cream jumpers and things will look wonderful with that navy with the ivory and cream stripe at the side there. And also, you may have seen my video last week. In fact, if you didn't see the video last week, this is the one I'm talking about. I did show you a couple of new items in there, and one of them was these new joggers that M&S have just brought in, which are these straight leg or tapered leg jogging bottoms, but they're similar to the ones I've just shown you. They do have an elasticated waist, and luckily they do have the zip pockets as well, which means the pocket area lies really flat, and that's really flattering. And they have this stripe at the side, which is navy and a sort of lilac-y blue as well. So again, that will go brilliantly with all the items I've been showing you. But the lighter colour is absolutely perfect for spring. So I was really pleased when I saw these come in. They are sort of selling out in some sizes at the moment. So as I said to you last week, if you are interested in them, I ended up with a size 12 regular, although I think I could have got away with a 10 regular. The long length was just a little bit too long on me. I'm 5'7", and I did find the long length a little bit too long. Even the medium length is a little bit long, so that gives you a sort of rough idea. But I think because of the elasticated waist, I probably could have got away with the 10, but I'm keeping the 12 at the moment. Another item you'll have seen recently, which again is iconic for spring, a denim shirt slash jacket sort of thing. This was from M&S recently. I've put this in because again, it goes with everything. It will go with all the lighter denim washes. When you do double denim, it doesn't have to be exactly the same shade. You can vary the shade a bit, so it would go with any of my jeans really. I haven't got them here, but I'm also keeping in one of my longer flared jeans as well, my Phase 8 ones, because they're quite useful at the moment. They're a little bit too sort of darker and thicker when it gets a bit warmer, but at the moment I can put those in. And all of the jeans I could wear with this shirt. It has those popper stud style buttons there, but really nice. I'll show you that on as well. You saw that the other week. So that is a nice item as well. Something like that. Obviously there are multiple different styles of denim jackets and denim shirts and things, but would recommend that if you need some casual clothes in your wardrobe. One lady last week did comment that she didn't like denim. Well, obviously if you don't like denim, don't put it in your wardrobe, wear something else. But most people do tend to wear denim, don't they, of some sort. Okay, now going on to a category that when I did my autumn wardrobe with you, I said I never have enough of, and that's the sort of loungewear category. So I've now, as I've said, got my jogging bottoms there. I've also got a couple of nice tops. This one last week. If you saw that video, you may have seen this one. This is one I got in the sale. It's actually from the men's autograph department of M&S, but it's a lovely sort of knitted, sort of a cross between a jumper and a sweatshirt really. It's sort of a knitted sweatshirt with the silver zip here, making a nice V-neck and a silver zip on the pocket there. Really nice, versatile thing. That looked really nice with the side stripe joggers, with either of the side stripe joggers. So either the cream ones or the navy ones would go with that. And then I've been looking out for a loungewear set. So, you know, these sets where you've got the top and the bottom matching colours, and they're really useful for wearing at home. Be ideal for me when I'm doing sort of video editing and things like that, sitting at home working on the computer, and just generally doing a bit of exercise at home and things like that. I tend to do my YouTube videos, my exercise video in the morning if I can. So I've got a set that I saw from Mint Velvet. Now, you know, I do see some of these online stylists saying things like, you know, buy expensive loungewear, you know, you should treat yourself and have nice loungewear at home. But I do object to paying like £130 for a sweatshirt. I appreciate the fabrics are probably better and maybe that item will last longer, but it's still too much for me. So what I've been doing, I've been on the lookout for something that may be in the sales that might have a better price on. So at Mint Velvet, they had a lovely loungewear set that was in the sale, and the two items together came up around £90. So that's still quite pricey, but I thought actually it's worth it. So I'll show you what it is. It's this, now it came in grey, or I think it was black, or this pink colour, and I thought, well, for spring, as the pink is on, so it's this fairly cropped sweatshirt with pockets here. Actually, I'm going to show you this on. So this is the top. You can see it's a fairly cropped length. It's not really long, but I actually quite like that. At the back it has a bit of a pleat, so it's a little bit blouson style there, but I actually really liked it. It just seemed to fall at quite a nice length for me. I'll show you a little bit more detail. This is the fabric. It is a lovely soft, I think it's called Soft Luxe fabric or something, and it is really lovely. It has a hood, you can see there. And it has this silver zip, nice quality zip there, and it's sort of, because it's elasticated around the bottom, then it blouses over the top. So I think, and the sleeves are not too wide, a little bit wide, but it's a lovely quality. I'll show you the whole thing on together with the jogging bottoms. You can see there it's a lovely set, really comfortable. Now the trousers, I'll show you those. So they have an elasticated waist, as you can see there. The bottom, they're just an open bottom there. There's no cuff at the bottom, so they're a wide leg style. They have these, can you see there's like a pleat at the top there, and that is where the pocket is. So where that pleat is, just there, the pocket is there, which allows you to, they just drape really nicely. You can put your hands in there and they sort of hang really nicely. And as I said, the whole thing together was around £90, which was quite a big reduction. I think they would have been really expensive. So I was quite happy with those. They do feel beautifully soft and cozy. I'm really looking forward to wearing them at home. And if you wanted to wear them out, I think they'd be perfectly fine to wear out. You might want to put a long knitted cream cardigan or something over them, or light jacket, or my trench coat I could put over it. So really love this. And I say I got this colour, well, mainly because I think the grey was sold out anyway, the size I wanted. This was a medium, they're both medium, the top and the bottom are mediums. But I did really like the colour, really like the style when I tried it on, and I wasn't expecting to. I was expecting to have to send this back, but a really comfortable loungewear set, and I think that's a reasonable price. So it was £90. And then I have a couple of dresses. Well, I've actually only put one in this capsule wardrobe. It's this polka dot one. This was from TKMaxx last year. Nice crossover there, V-neck, sort of wrap style dress with a tie at the side there. Nice sort of mid-axi length, really versatile, obviously perfect for spring. I could have put my Phase 8 denim long dress in there as well. Denim dress would be nice at this time of year. There's several around. I know M&S have a few. And then last item, I have just one more hoodie, a neutral hoodie. Now I could have several that I could have chosen from. This is one I got from Fat Face in the January sales. Nice warmish at the moment, so ideal, but we'll go over everything obviously because of that neutral oatmeal-y colour, but nice fabric this one as well, but a reasonable price. I think it was something like £25 in the sale. So these are my 30 items. This will enable me to create multiple different outfits for different purposes. If I want to elevate things, I've got a smarter shirt, I've got things like my burgundy blazer and my trench coat. If I want to make things more casual, I've got casual jackets there with my utility jacket, my cardigans, my jogging bottoms. So that's my 30 item capsule wardrobe, and the idea of that is that you then wear those clothes for 30 days and you create lots of different outfits out of those things. And then at the end of that you can see, you know, are you missing certain items? Is there some gaps in your wardrobe? It gives you a good idea about what you've got and what you haven't got, and how creative you can be in actually putting these things together and getting good wear out of all the items in your wardrobe. So if this all seems a bit overwhelming, a bit too much, what you can do is pare this down and perhaps just do 15 items and maybe wear those for 15 days. So let's have a go at doing that. So that is actually, well, it's 20 items I've got down to there, but I've taken some of the blue colours out. So we've got more of just the pinks and the creams and the navy. So all of those items will go really well together with each other, and you can create a lot of outfits just out of those 20. So 20 days, 20 pieces, maybe try that and see how you get on. Let me know if you find that useful or helpful. And if you found that you've got plenty in your wardrobe already, or if maybe you think you need to buy a few more items. And hope you've enjoyed the video today. It was interesting making it. It's made me really think about what's in my wardrobe and sort of plan for spring. So hope you find that useful. Thank you very much for watching. Next week there'll be another video, so please come back and see me again then. But thank you so much. Goodbye.